Fantastic shot, Monali. And this one crashed into defense, and that's the end of the fourth over. Is a suspected sighting of, is that delivery cut again, bottom edge, and the batters, do they get the single? Very indecisive.
Now there's something we have not seen from Nepal, indecisiveness between the wickets. And is this because of really good fielding or the heat?
Could be a bit of both. Well said, Monali. It's uncomfortable out there. It feels like 100 degrees with the humidity. Fahrenheit, not Celsius. If it was Celsius, we'd all be dead. And here is, which we think is Shubhan Rashani. This one coming back in. Another dot ball. And the question for Nepal, not the quickest of starts within the power play.
Yeah, just 26 runs on the board, 2 wickets down, which is the important part. Only into the 5th over. But the reality is they will need to steady this ship before they can go. You know, they've lost 2 batters up at the top. It's going to take some repair job, and then they can finally look to open up his shoulders. Omar Farouk, the bowler.
Wraps him on the pad, and the umpire calls no ball. Came right back in. It would have been one of those hairline decisions, but a no ball called, and now it's going to be a free hit.
Be interesting to see how close that was. Loud appeal from the bowler. If it was a no ball in the end, looked a little high, maybe even potentially going down leg. Regardless, it's a no ball and it's a free hit.
That's right, and Kushal Patel, who's been there from the start, he's faced 12 balls for 5 runs. Let's see what he does. It's going after it in the air, one bounced him it off, and it's going to be a loud dot ball.
We saw this earlier with Bangladesh USA. The timing is very difficult for the batters. The pitch is holding up. It's not coming on as well as you like. Not the easiest of batting conditions.
Correct. And I think batters in the T20 format usually have wickets that the ball come onto them. I think this is an opportunity for batters out in the middle to make the correct adjustment, play shots off of the back foot. And if you're going to come forward, make sure you get right on top of it. Here's that short delivery. A top edge is in the air. And we saw the leg glance through cover, and now we see the hook shot through extra cover. And that's gone for 4. Monali, you're laughing, but it's the best shot in the book.
Definitely not intended where you'd have liked it, but listen, he got a hold of it, and the bats today allow you to do that. There's enough meat. There's enough meat on the bat for it to get to the boundary.
Listen, Listen, you do a hook shot and you get it over extra cover. I need applause. Don't need criticisms after that. All right, so
It's 4 runs, okay?
4 runs. It's in the book. And Britell gets a boundary. He's struggling out there despite the fantastic hook over extra cover. But he goes to 9 off of 15. Score 31 for 2.
Killing me, Ryan. With your
Ryan, heat, pet peeves. It's been a long day for Monali Patel.
You know what? After this, I think we're going to pad you up and you got to go bat because I want to see just how unorthodox it can get. I'll tell you, Brian will not be watching that because he's already told me what proper cricket is.
Right. So Britell is struggling at the middle, but he is still out there. 9 off 15. Tries to lift this one, and again, goes nowhere where it was intended. Monali, you can describe that shot. The floor is yours.
I'm just going to say it's very difficult to time on this wicket. The ball's not coming on as well as he would have liked. We'll say it's a punch into the wicket.
Good enough. Here it is, trying to rock back on that back foot and just get his wrists through the ball, but it held up and got a leading edge to mid-on.
Would it be fair to say we've had more runs come off of the edges of the bats in this game so far than the middle?
I would say you're right. I think Brian Walters will have a statistic on that. He's usually very handy with his laptop. So we're 5 overs gone, 31 for 2. Speaking of Brian Walters, he's about to walk to the crease and take his guard. He's a tall, statuesque Jamaican. Left arm, fast. I said fast medium, he corrected me. He said left arm fast. So many incredible fast bowlers from Jamaica. Michael Holding, of course. Courtney Walsh. Patrick Patterson, the quickest of them all. Brian Walters. Well, we have a change of bowling in the Houston Hurricanes. And Brian, any chance, number 15 for the Hurricanes?
Ali Sheik.
Ali Sheik to the rescue.
Ali Sheik, for me, will always be considered, if not the best fielder in the country, one of the top 2 or 3.
You can't field your way to wickets, so he has to bowl now.
This is true. But I was building to that. He's also one of the more promising young all-rounders in the country. Left arm orthodox spin and the left hand. He's starting to be more of a power hitter these days. He's a little bit older now. He's about 21 years old.
Not 47 like the guy.
He's not 47.
Okay. So, left arm orthodox into the pad, just works it away, gets one. And Nepal, we talked about them building towards the World Cup.
Yep.
Brian, it's not easy out there. We spoke about the conditions. It was tough yesterday, but they found a way to get past the total of 145 to win. And now they're trying to build a total completely different from yesterday when you know your target.
If you've never played cricket in this part of the country, it is brutal. So a major part of this is just being acclimatized to the conditions. And, of course, the Hurricanes play right here in Prairie View, so they will be familiar with the conditions, at least some of them who are not actually on the Hurricanes from other minor league franchises, but play here very often during the season.
It is tough to commentate as well. Monali's having a hard time. She's sweating. She's overheating. Left arm orthodox, and he digs it out. Well, he's certainly varying his length. He pitched one up outside off stump, an excellent ball. Usually builds up dot balls if you can find that spot. But at the moment, and punched back, almost a caught and ball opportunity.
That is evidence of what I'm referring to with this fielding ability, because that just about carried all the way back to him.
So the wicket just holding up Ali Sheik. And Britell, again, trying to play through the line. You can't do that on this wicket. It was one of those where he should have rolled his wrist.
Yeah, that next delivery, staying just a touch low. They'll get through for a single. But I think at this stage of the innings, the Hurricanes will be happy with just conceding, 3-4 runs and over. That's essentially what they've gotten so far in this over.
Ali Sheik, left arm orthodox. The skipper, Rohit Kumar Podel, squeezed out a single, and that is the end of the 6th over, 34 for 2. Has a lot of responsibility on his shoulders, not only with the bat, but to manage this team on the field. Brian, you ever skip it aside?
I have skippered a side. I've also, in fact, I've skippered 2 different sides, and I've been vice captain a number of times. I've always found it easier to be a vice captain than a captain.
This one pitched up and flicked off the legs. Fielder comes across, expertly done, and they come back for 2. I was a skipper at one time we have something called backyard cricket. It's about 3 of us. I was captain and vice captain. Brian, you heard the question coming from our producer, Roddy Lalman.
I did hear the question.
Repeat the question, please.
The question is, have I ever umpired and commentated at the same time? I will tell you that I live in Austin, about 120 miles away. And it has been a number of times that I've showed up here fully intent on commentating, and they say to me, Brian, we're short umpires. We need you to go stand in 98 degrees and 100% humidity and umpire 2 games.
Nobody ever questioned your commitment.
They never have.
Well, I tell you what, Nepal at the moment, a rough start. And yes, the power play at 34 for 2. And now, but they're building a bit of an innings now. The skipper, Podel, and Brittel are putting together a mini innings. This one is just pushed into mid-wicket. But this is exactly what Nepal needs at the moment. Yes, you're constantly looking for boundaries, Brian, but there's more to T20 cricket than that.
You know, even in the limited overs form of the game, everybody wants to do scoop shots and switch hits and 4s and 6s, but an element that can never be lost is you still can't get bogged down. You still have to look for ways to work the ball into the gaps and get singles. And so the idea is you can score big, but you also need to be able to take advantage of those situations where the boundaries aren't coming.
Never underestimate rotating strike. Short delivery and pulled away beautifully. Well, didn't get all of it. The shot looked good. Just didn't get behind it.
The shot looked very good.
10 out of 10 with the stroke play. The connection, 1 out of 10.
It was almost as though Joshua Trump, who is back on the boundary at square leg, would have thought it was coming to him, ended up not coming anywhere near close, and then eventually gets there. Joshua Trump coming off the ropes and is able to get that one back in. But
I mean, we're talking Virat Kohli type pull shot there. And it just trickled to the square leg umpire. Well, we just got word. It hits the umpire's foot. And so Brian Walters, they may need an umpire at square leg.
No, don't even.
We're not going to question your commitment. We're just going to merely ask the question. Outside off stump, late cut. Third man and deep point has some work to do. Just the one.
Well, the umpire who is in your shot right now, Cameron Best, is my former captain. And so if he says to me, Brian, we need you out there. I'm sort of obligated to go out there, am I not?
Your former skipper
My former skipper.
makes the request.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, you have to go
But you
out
have to
there.
go out there with the earpiece and the commentary booth and the microphone, though, because we want a little bit of both.
kill like 3 birds with 1 stone.
Nepal will be like, wow, so that's how they do it in the U.S. Commentate and umpire. Usman, and that is a dot ball.
Still Umar Farouk. Ignore what your screen says. Usman Shinwar is a left-handed pace bowler who is not who you're seeing right now. That should be the end of the over. 37